For most upgrades or renovation projects, electrical designers have to consider existing electrical conditions. And even though some of the circuits come from areas outside of the scope of work, we still have to show them in the panel schedule of the panels affected in the new work. My name is Jorge, and this is eRevit, the place for electrical designers. Showing existing loads in Revit panel schedules could be challenging, but I have two approaches that might help you. Approach 1. Create an electrical fixture family. It should be a simple family with an electrical connector without any extrusions. I have a project opened, so let's go to File tab to create a new family. Select the electrical fixture template. Click Open. Save it. In this example, I will call it existing load. Since I have one in there, I'm going to replace it. Now, before we continue, this family is not going to have any extrusions. So we need a field region to place the electrical connector. That means we need to create a generic annotation family. So let's go back to File tab to create a new annotation family. Select the generic annotation template, click Open, then save it. And in this example, I will call it symbol existing load. Again, I will replace the family I have in there. Delete the message in red. Go to Create tab to create a field region. And let's make it a circle with a radius of 1/16 inches. Make sure the field region is solid black. Then finish editing. Now you can nest this family into the existing load family we started a minute ago. Place it in the center, then hit escape a couple of times. Now go to Create tab to add an electrical connector. Place it on the field region, then escape a couple of times, select the connector, and under Properties, change the system type to Power Balanced. Create an instance parameter for number of poles. Click the right corner button, then create new. Let's call it number of poles. Make sure to select instance. Then click OK. Now this parameter is associated with number of poles. Do the same for load classification voltage in a pattern load. Once you're done, go to Create tab and click on Family Types. And it should look like this. Click OK, and now you're ready to load this family into your project. You should place the family outside the floor plan and try to keep it organized so that it's easy to make changes in the future. In my example, I show wire labels that include the panel, the circuit number, and the load name for the circuit. It's easier for me to refer to these after some time without opening the project. Let's see how this interacts with the panel schedules. Let's copy paste one of them, then power the family. Since the electrical connector is associated with instance parameters, you have to specify number of poles and voltage. Let's select 3 poles and 480 volts. You have to also specify the apparent load and the load classification. I have created a load classification called existing load. But you can go with any other classification load. For example, if you want this load to be part of receptacles, click on it. Then OK, and the panel schedule gets updated. This approach is very flexible with load classifications. You can control how loads are associated. The downside is that the existing load family has to be placed for every existing circuit, and it could become messy. Approach 2. You could use spare circuits in the panel schedule. In our example, let's add one spare circuit. You can change the load name. You can also change the breaker size, the number of poles, and the load of the circuit directly in the panel schedule. Since we're using spares, the existing load will show up under the spare load classification. We need to modify the panel schedule template so that column for load classification says existing load instead of spare. For this approach, the load classification will be a fixed column. I have an example ready to show you. Let's change the template. I will select example 2. Then click OK, say yes. You can see the load classification column looks different. It says existing load instead of spare. And it also shows HVAC. However, it shows zero load under this classification. If the load classification is not being used, it will still show up here, but it will have a zero value. Let's see how this template looks from the edit mode. Go to Manage, Panel Schedule Templates, edit a template, example 2, open. Notice that column for load classifications has only text. You can type however many classifications you want to include. All the other columns, such as connected load, demand factor, and estimated demand, are calculated values and are associated with the load classification that we are trying to show. For example, let's add receptacles. Type receptacles here, then click inside connected load, add calculated values, select discipline to be electrical. The value type is going to be apparent power. And then click inside the formula field. You'll find a button with 3 dots in the right corner. Click on it. This will open all the parameters that belong to the electrical equipment category. Type RE, and that should take you to receptacles. Select receptacles connected, then click OK. And now it shows up in there. Select the name of the parameter, receptacles connected. Control C to copy, and then go to name and type CV for calculated values, underscore, and then Control V to paste the name of the parameter. Then click OK. And we will do the same for demand factor and estimated demand. Let's do one more, demand factor. Click inside and go to calculated values. Change the discipline to electrical. The value type should be demand factor in this case. And the formula should be receptacles demand factor. You can either type it or go find it. I will go find it. Click the three dots button, type RE, and find receptacles demand factor. Then click OK. Copy the name of the parameter. Go to name and type CV underscore and then paste the name of the parameter. Then OK. I'm not going to add the estimated demand, but you get the idea. I'm going to cancel the changes. This is the fastest approach to add existing circuits. The downside is that you don't get much flexibility with the low classification. All goes to the spare classification and cannot be changed to a different low classification. If you want to watch more videos like this, please subscribe to my channel. By subscribing, you inspire me to continue helping our Revit community. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comment section.